All right, what's up, YouTube? Hopefully, everybody had a great year in 2021 in the stock market, whether it was crypto or just stocks. I hope everybody made crazy profits. We're going to go over some of the opportunities that a lot of people missed, a lot of people caught by accident, and told their families that they were geniuses because of, but we really just caught a short squeeze. I know we've all been there before, but some of these we also caught on the downside as well. But regardless, all these have been great opportunities and kind of make us grateful sometimes for some of the losses we take, because there's also some of these that kind of just push us over the edge if we catch them in the right moments. So sadly, 2021 is coming to an end, but there's a lot to be excited for in 2022. This is kind of just showing us what the market is capable of in the most modern times, and it's only going to get better. So that being said, if you are interested in more videos like this or daily updates, we do upload every day, so follow the channel and leave a thumbs up. That's all I'm going to say about that. As far as any of these stocks go, if you have caught any of these on the very low bottom and made it to the top and took some profit, leave it down in the comment sections. You don't have to say how much you made or anything like that. I just want to know if you caught any of these stocks, and like, I guess you're a little bit of a story about it, or even just whether or not you caught it. But I know some of these are absolutely life-changing, so it'd be cool to see that in chat, just kind of that positive energy of people making huge scores. So that being said, let's go to the first stock we have on our list, and it's going to be Gamestop. So this has no particular order or timeline, but the first one happens to be in January of 2021 where we first catch this. And GameStop starts around $5, and early 2021 has this short squeeze. Wall Street Bets hypes about this, so they talk about this a lot, and turns out the short interest on this is very, very high. So essentially, this is one of our first short squeezes of the year, and when the short interest is high, it's hard to borrow. So when people buy it and it goes up, people have to take their shorts and close on them, take their losses, and close their short positions. So when you close a short position, you're buying, and when people are buying, they're buying. So everybody's buying, and everything just goes crazy. So you get crazy halts, just absolutely massive candles, something you like that is not candles this big because we're looking at the month chart, but we do see candles that are much crazier than you would normally see. Let's see if we can scroll way over there. We'll zoom out a bit. But yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely crazy moves here. Where are we at? Here we are. So yeah, I mean, this is unheard of. This is within a few weeks, I believe in the month of January to February alone. And I mean, just imagine catching this at under $100, which a lot of people did because this is plenty of time, up to $500 almost, and just cashing out. I mean, with one share, you'd be up almost $400. Imagine if you had 100 or 1,000 from the very bottom. I mean, these are really life-changing. So the first one's going to go to GME because it was one of the ones that kind of started a lot of the momentum for a lot of other stocks. Speaking of other stocks, we have AMC. So this is kind of where I got it. Like, I think a lot of people kind of caught on. GMC, people watched happen. A lot of people were making videos on it. People were checking it out, but never really took part. But then we had an exact same setup with AMC where the short interest is very high, and a lot of people didn't want to sit this one out. So I think a lot more people got into this one. And this is where GME and AMC both kind of started running together and kind of just making momentum for meme stocks. So starting off super low, I believe it started at $2, but I think most people started catching on at around 10. This is when it had its first big day, big moves, around 30. This is daily. So, I mean, I think one day it went from like 12 to 15 to 16, then 16 to 30. It was making $10 increments per day. And it was kind of crazy because you didn't really ever see like a green day, then a red day, then another green day, like how we might see in some of these now hype stocks where like there's at least a chill period where it relaxes a bit, then pops again, and some people miss it. This was just absolutely, you buy it at any point, you're probably going to make profit as long as you're below this. It did come down after it, but it's floated around 50 for a very long time, 50 and 60s, before coming down to where it sits at now at 30s, which if you bought anywhere below here, you're still in a profitable range. So you would think that it only happens if a company does really well or good earnings, or maybe their movies are really good, but honestly, there's nothing too special about this. There's no reason why it popped necessarily by technical standpoint. This was all because of a short squeeze and the capability of what the people have to do, or what the people can do. So yeah, let's check out the next one. Emeryn, this was the one that I was a fan of. It didn't make as big of a move, But within a few days, a $30 jump, which is something we're seeing more and more every day now. But yeah, $30 jump was a pretty big move. And this one was also similar setup to AMC. And whenever you hear the word short squeeze, and it's not there yet, I mean, a lot of people start setting up and watching for it. And once it starts, boy, does it not stop until it's absolutely crazy. People taking profits. So this one actually did go up and come down a few times throughout the days. So if you didn't take profits on this, I believe you pretty much ended up either just above or just above in the profitable range, but you did lose out a lot. So you had to take profits on this one before it came back down, because it did have crazy spikes, and then one day finally did hit $30. But you had a few days to kind of capture this one. So yeah, this was, let's see, around July. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go to the next one, which is New Egg. Very similar setup. A lot of these are very similar in terms of their squeezes. A lot of them are the Wall Street bets kind of pumping all of these. But we have a similar move from around $14. I mean, it looks like it started before that, like $10 all the way to $80. And this was another one that looked like AMC, where it was just green candles getting halted up, and just never stopping. And people just buying and buying and buying. The next one we have is a more recent one, one that had a lot of popularity as well. I remember this day specifically, and people were creating accounts just to get in on this because it was moving so much. The buy ratio to sell ratio was like 3-1. It was crazy. So with DWAC, there was a SPAC. It started around $10, and it was, I think the SPAC was open for a few weeks, but news came out that Donald Trump was going to make his own social media platform that was more pro, I guess, non-censorship, or the ability to, like, I guess, say what you want. I guess less restrictions than some of the social medias that we have now, like Twitter, Instagram, where they're deplatforming people or taking people off. That was the whole idea of it. That was the whole point, to be a direct competitor from a different side of things. And somewhere along the lines, that just created a lot of hype. It went from $10 all the way to about $80 in one day. Pre-market went up a little bit more, and then hit highs of 175 before coming back down again, which was unheard of. This is kind of crazy. I mean, this is a more recent one. So yeah, this one was getting halted up like crazy. I remember people looking at this one thinking, you know what, maybe we're too late. Should we not buy in because it might come back down, just like every stock that's normal behaves? But no, it just keep on going up and up and up. And even if you bought at the $60 range, I mean, you were still profitable by about $40 the next morning. So even if you were really late, you're still crazy profitable by about a $40 range. And if you were early, I mean, you had this whole thing to play with to keep waiting or take your profits, whatever you wanted to do. You were having a good day. So DWAC is one that we're still watching because it is making moves as of recent too. CAR. This one is one that's another recent one. I mean, this one pretty much made the GameStop move with one day and came back down. So this one I believe was another short interest play, but it was already high. It was like 180, 190, so it was kind of expensive already. But when I saw it first halted, it was around $200, and I thought, you know what, it's probably going to go like another $20 and stay around there. It was very high. But it made highs of $500 within one day. I don't know how this setup was, but if this ever happens again, I hope more people catch on to it so they can get profit off of it too, because that's crazy. I don't know how healthy this is for the stock market if this is always happening, but I know it's life-changing, and some people really need it sometimes. You know, that money does make a big difference, and whether it's making people a fortune or just putting them over that $25,000 pattern day trading rule so they can do the rest of the work for themselves. Yeah, both of those reasons are very good. Tesla wasn't a short squeeze. This is one that was kind of more of a technical thing where the company kind of just deserved it, or they did really well. So we went from around the $600 range where it was constantly getting rejected. It did hit highs of $900 before. So it was not like we haven't seen any of this before. But there was a point where it was at $500 and hit highs of $1,300 as of recent before. As we know now that Elon started selling some of his shares. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but it did affect the stock. But yeah, almost triple its worth in about a few months, which is pretty crazy. I mean, Elon's been doing crazy things, and Tesla, they do a lot more than just cars, but they are one of the first EVs, and they already have revenue. They have their stuff set up already, and with the world going kind of green and more towards EV, I mean, they're one of the first early adopters. So very good on Tesla. They deserve this, and it's also kind of awesome to see this as well. mRNA, This one is Moderna, of course, so the vaccine company. And I mean, this one started in 2020 at about $20. So man, if you caught this is even better. But this is kind of just showing all the opportunities. Like even before 2021, there was tons of opportunities. I mean, even if stuff's going down, there's other stuff going back up. Because in 2020, I believe it was a pretty bearish market when COVID hit. Certain things like Zoom went up, and the vaccines went up. Zoom is another one we have to look at. But yeah, so I mean, if you catch this early, but we're taking a look at 2021. So let's go here. So around $100, 150 maybe, up to about $500. And this is one that's more predictable because at the start of 2021, the government started pushing more vaccines and vaccines. And I mean, it moved up about $100 without actually putting many vaccines out at all. So I mean, this one is more of a predictable one. Once the government starts like paying for those vaccines. I mean, we get them for free if you go, but I mean, those are paid for somehow. Not everything's free. So just big moves on this part. So if you caught this one, good on you. I mean, this one was a very kind of awareness move. If you knew what was going on, which most people did, it was all a fear play, but that caused this to go up, almost like a safe haven. People getting scared of other stuff and putting their money into here, and so sitting around $283 now, which is still more than at the very start of 2021. Bitcoin is another one we got to talk about. So I mean, if you were earlier, maybe like what is this 2020? I guess in general, a lot of things went up because of the COVID panic and stuff, like safe haven type stuff. I mean, 4,000 to highs of 70K. I know Bitcoin is sometimes used, or crypto in general, as to hedge against inflation. Because if you just have your money in a bank, you're going to go down, as we saw this year, about 6% per year because of inflation. But I mean, if you're in crypto, you have a chance for it to grow if you buy in at the right levels. If you buy in too high, I mean, you're going to have to hold until you get back there just to break even. But I mean, kind of taking these dip opportunities and looking at it here where you're having higher highs. I mean, just because Bitcoin's up here doesn't mean you're gonna miss out. I mean, you can still trade this or hold it or buy in, but you just want to pick your levels very well. But yeah, I mean, the reason for this spike here as of recent is because of inflation as well. So I mean, again, safe haven concept. But yeah, I mean, from 2021, we're gonna look at this. And here we are. So about $20,000 all the way to almost 70K at one point. Actually 69K, which, I mean, I don't know if that just goes to another part of the meme or they did that on purpose. But wow, here we are. So another one is SHIB. SHIB is one where, I mean, again, we get these consistent patterns. Like we had GME, then AMC. We had Bitcoin, then, I mean, Ethereum would probably be the runner-up to that. But, I mean, when people start hearing about these possibilities, people start putting their money into SHIB. And I mean, I think if you would have put like $10 in SHIB a year ago or two, you'd probably be a millionaire now. I don't know if that's correct, but this point, if you do a quick Google search, this is up millions of percent. So let me know in the comments if I'm right about that. I think that's correct. I know I've heard that before. I've never actually done the math, but yeah, I mean, let's count these numbers from 0.0000512 to 0.0008885 was the high, and yeah, that's up a ton. I mean, this isn't even a penny. This is way less than a penny, but huge margin, just with the data that we have here so far. And I mean, we had a craze with this shortly after Dogecoin too. But yeah, a lot of people made money on this. Let me know if you guys were in on this one here, but this one was kind of fun. Just kind of a sympathy play from Dogecoin. I don't know what you'd call this. I don't know what the technicals behind this there are. A lot of times when you pump it, I mean, it just goes regardless of whether it makes sense or not. This company could be selling like lemonade on a lemonade stand, and they only have like two setups, and they're like both in Alaska where nobody like drives by. But if they have high short interest, they're gonna get pumped regardless. So I'm not saying SHIB was like a bad thing or anything at all, but I'm just saying like, you know what I'm saying. So let's go to the next one, Dogecoin. This is a horrible line. Don't pay attention to that. But we have the margin again from 0.0416 all the way to 0.7442. So like 74 cents, almost a dollar. But yeah, this is crazy margins too. I know a lot of people made money off this too. People got in this around the $40 or 40 cents because it made this move here, came back down. Probably people bought this dip, especially once it started curling. So I mean, let's just say 36 cents to about 70. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, anybody could really make money on this one. It's a penny stock, but it's crypto. But a lot of opportunity here. I know a lot of people also top tick this thinking it was going to go past $1. I can't blame them because when stuff moves like this, I mean, you never know how far it's going to go. But I know a lot of people bought up here, sadly, and it's come back down. And I know a lot of people bought up here, or even like here, thinking it's going to go and they can just hold, but it made them move all the way back down, either to break even or just below. Now they're holding. So very interesting one for sure. Cryptos is going to be one that I'm paying attention to in 2022. Not because you're trying to chase anything, but I mean, you hear some of these cryptos doubling, tripling, or even just going up millions of percents in 1 year, making people millionaires. You just kind of wonder at some point if that trend's going to continue. Because 2021 was a huge year for that. So was 2022, but I mean, 2021 was just amazing, really, in terms of crypto. So that is it for this video. Any honorable mentions, something like Zoom, but it's a very similar thing to like Moderna, where it was just because of the COVID plays, and I think 2020 might have been a bigger year for Zoom. But lots of opportunities here. It's kind of insane, kind of looking back on this. You kind of remember maybe if you're playing the market or watching or trading when these happened. Maybe you caught it, maybe you just kind of watched it, maybe you caught the top tick and brought it all the way down. Maybe you won some and lost some. Maybe you jumped in thinking you were going to get a few bucks and made a fortune, and then now your family thinks you're a genius, but in reality you just kind of hopped onto something that was already happening with or without you. So we've all been a part of those stories, but at the end of the day, hopefully everybody still has their account alive, and we're all alive. So whether you did good, whether you did bad, 2021 has just been an amazing year to look back on, and it's a lot of fun when you think about it. A lot of people have been kind of starting this, or maybe made enough money to quit their job, broke the pattern day trading rule. There's so many milestones people have broken, and yeah, it's very exciting. Speaking about milestones, I am on the road to 100 subs. So if you did like this video or just enjoyed it in general, please leave a thumbs up and follow the channel. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to be looking forward to just more daily updates, kind of the stuff that we usually do. But this one was a more fun video for me. When I started thinking about all the stocks that have gone crazy, it just became very nostalgic. So I wanted to make this video. But maybe we can make some more fun videos like this too when we have those ideas. But for the most part, we're trying to get good stock plays for the next day. So help people kind of catch that before after hours. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Thanks guys for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, please follow the channel. And until next time, later.